All right, guys. Hello. Welcome back.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
Hi. I'm
Hey.
B. Brooks.
Hey, B.
Who are
This is
you?
Allie.
Allie Bourgeois.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. It's been a while. I don't remember what to
I
do.
know. What do we say? We say, welcome to Yogi and the
Oh,
Bee.
okay. Let's start over again, please.
Okay. Hi, I'm B. Brooks.
And I'm Allie Bourgeois.
Welcome to Yogi and the Bee.
Welcome, everybody.
Yay.
Let's explain
Hopefully-
why the sound is weird, just because people get really weird about sound. I mean, they'll turn it off if they're like, that was weird. B, just last minute, doesn't have power in her house. And, anyone else in the world would have said, bless your heart, let's try this again later on in the week. I said, take the Wi-Fi off of the house, get Wi-Fi, get your earbuds, let's get going. I'm just that girl. So it's going to be a little weird and it's my fault. Please accept my apologies. Wait, who do we have here? Is there somebody else on here?
Today, guys, we are barely making it with Wi-Fi, and we've got a guest today, and we're hoping that it's going to be clear and good. Yes. So, today we have none other than Lisa Pearce, dear, dear, dear friend of many, many, many years, and also principal of AZ Kelsey School in Griffin Spalding School District. And welcome, Lisa.
Tick, tick, boom.
Hey.
Hey, welcome. Good to see you again, Lisa.
Thank you for having me.
AZ Kelsey Strong.
AZK Strong, baby.
AZK, sorry. Okay. So, Lisa, if you would please tell our listeners a little bit about your background, how long you've been in education, kind of your path of how you got here.
Well, this is my 25th year.
Wow.
A majority of it has been in high school. I started out coaching and ended up in leadership. I was an AP for assistant principal for almost 5 years, and this is my first year as a principal.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Principal. That's like, wow.
That
That's
is
amazing. What led you to being a principal?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's just what you just keep trying to strive to be better. And it's more of I think a calling if you're in these positions. And there's really not one definitive answer, but this is my first year and I'm in a non-traditional setting. I really feel like this is a calling for me. I feel like I've been non-traditional for so long in the way I do things. So it's different.
Explain what you mean by non-traditional for those that aren't in the education background. What does that mean?
Non-traditional means I'm an alternative school. I serve sixth grade through 12th grade. And I also have an academy, and you have to apply to get into it. It's another non-traditional setting where students can come in a smaller environment. It's more student-centered, more personalized learning plans. We're trying to get them in college to be college and career ready. I think a lot of the traditional schools push, and I think parents have this perception that every kid has got to go to college when now we're trying to get our students industry certified and get them in the workforce because they are our future.
Mm-hmm.
That is amazing.
Allison, do you remember like when we were in high school in DeKalb County, there was the alternative school. It was over on North Druid Hills Road, kind of by my home high school. And it's kind of where the kids went that, had trouble making it in the regular school and curriculum.
I was not familiar with that in Atlanta, but they did have one in Madison that was quite impressive. Yeah.
I mean, ladies, don't you think we would all be an alternative school if we got caught doing half the stuff we did in high school?
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, Lisa.
I mean, our kids just made a few bad decisions. That's it. I mean, come on. They come over here and, you know, we have a clean slate. I'm just trying to get them back in. I'm just trying to make them productive citizens of the world.
Oh, that's amazing.
I know. And so, yes, to your question earlier, probably I may have been valedictorian at the alternative school. I don't know.
I got a few of those.
Anyway, I know that. So I do think it's interesting when you said citizenship. I noticed that was on your school mission or logo, or you know what I'm trying to say, on your Facebook page. That's part of your culture.
Yes.
Right.
Culture is huge over here. Yes.
Right.
Culture, I mean, to me, I think that is probably the most important thing when you're building a school, your culture. And if you're not speaking to it every day, and that's from your teachers to your custodians to the students and the parents that walk in your building, we're trying to create a community over here where, you know, we're changing the trajectory of lives over here. We have some students who are of Hispanic descent, and they might be the first time graduate in their family, but being able to get back in the workforce or go into college or some sort of career is very important to my students. And I drill into my teachers that, you know, I have to see things in my teachers that they have not yet seen in them to make them be leaders in the school. The teachers have to do the same thing to our students. They've got to see in our students what they can't see in themselves yet. So it's that vision casting, that belief system with, I mean, we're very low. It's poverty. There's a little poverty involved over here. We're a Title I school. If you don't know what that means it's just very low economic standing status. So yeah, our kids come to us with a lot of environmental factors weighing them down, from I don't know where they slept. It might be group home. It might be, we have, you know, gang activity. We have a lot of things that, you know, can pull them in the opposite direction. So keeping them in school and keeping them engaged is very important for me.
Yeah.
And my teacher.
Very impressive. My gosh.
Yeah. And what's so cool is, I think, like you said, building the culture. Well, first of all, that's just like the new hashtag, if you will, whether it's in school or corporations or the business world, the corporate world. It's all about culture. And it's so cool because if it had ever been thought about or discussed earlier, you know, I don't know. It's so important. But anyway, I got sidetracked. So you start with your teachers.
With my teachers, I do a lot of personalized things, like, you know, from potlucks where we'll all come together and eat together. Food brings teachers together. I don't know if y'all know that, but if you're gonna,
candy,
food, candy, really going. We started with our leadership retreat, and we're going with the theme "Beat the Odds." And it's because it's the 80-1 long shot. And it's based on Rich Strike. I don't know if y'all remember the Kentucky Derby when the horse was put in at the last minute, Rich Strike, and he never won a race, and he won the Kentucky Derby. It was the 80-1 long shot. And that's our theme this year with, we're going to invest in our kids and our teachers. You know, we might be a long shot, but it's starting with us. And we came together and we did a lot of leadership activities with, around that theme.
Yeah. That's so awesome. Cause I know, you quote or you put on social media a lot of your, leader, mentors that you follow, whether it be a book or a conference you've been to.
Yes.
And so that was one of them, the Kentucky Derby guy.
Yeah, that was one of them. that was one of a few of them, but it was, we take a lot and we pour into our teachers. I think if your teachers are happy and you've got a strong staff and you pour into them, that makes a difference. The teachers have got to know you care about them. You're invested in them. I'm here working on American Lit standards for my ELA teachers. So they just have to know that you're rolling up your sleeves with them and you're doing the work and doing the work in this setting, in this school setting, an alternative school setting, an academy, it's not the same. You gotta treat it and hold the bar high.
Yeah. Well, just from having been a teacher, if you don't have support and there's not good morale, you've got nothing. And it's just a trickle effect all the way down to your students, and it shows. So that's good job. Yeah.
Thank you.
And I know it looks like you had a successful open house this week.
I believe we had more that attended than they ever have. We there's with COVID, they just dumped school supplies in buildings and there was nowhere to put it. When I tell you they dumped it, I'm talking thousands of backpacks, book bags, paper, pens, pencils, and we don't have the population to just get rid of it as fast as we would like to. So part of our open house is when they went into our commons or cafeteria area, we put all of that school supplies out on tables and they could shop for their families. So they didn't have to have a kid that came here. It could just be in the community. So if they had 5 kids, go get a backpack, stuff it, take what you need. We fed them. And that was that community builder. We're trying to change the narrative here. So to get people in our building, feed them, give them what they need and meet them where they're at. That's important for me. We're creating a closet. So if kids, may not have slept at home that night, they can come in and we can wash their clothes. We can give them food on Friday when they leave. They have everything they need, at least a meal for the weekend. It's just a lot of stuff. Just trying to meet our community where they are.
And speaking of, your kids are probably maybe a little angry or resentful that they are coming to you.
Yes. They're very mad that they got caught with either a gun or, vaping paraphernalia or so they get with us. But what you find when you come over here is that you have a lower class to teacher student ratio because we've got to reach our kids and they've got to know we care first. We establish relationships first. So what happens, they get over here with us and they don't want to go back to their school.
Right.
They want to stay. And that's a good problem to have.
How long? What is the process? If someone is sent to your school, do they know that they have, so many months or a year?
They usually have to go through a tribunal where the school is sending them to the alternative school. So it could be a number of factors from, fighting to drug paraphernalia, weapons. So it just depends on what it is. But when they get to us, they go through a tribunal process and they're either sent over here a semester, a year, or a year plus a semester. And it sounds really like this prison talk here, but I hate that. But the two systems are a lot alike. My goal is to try to stop the pipeline and to help change recidivism and all that. Those big terms mean we're trying to change the trajectory of the child. So I also have, kids that are awaiting adjudication. They've committed a felony and they can't go back to their base school. So they really can't come to me yet. I'm just holding them. But we're in the process now of kind of changing and tweaking some things. But we're saving a lot of kids. We're working on that whole child. Since COVID, what I have found is our kids, they don't have that self-regulation like we have, we know we know when we're about to explode. We know this. We have kids who are just popping off. You see an increase in aggressive behaviors and that we lost that self-regulation or that self-awareness somewhere in COVID. And we're seeing an escalation in behaviors with a lot of our kids.
And
I know heard that from other teachers as well. and that people
Mhm.
have left schools and gone to different schools to try to have more of a relationship with, yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But I know when we've talked, personally, just catching up, you've talked about how you will have to maybe, call the kid in your office and just let his day is spent right beside your desk, and like, you gonna do it or not, dude? Like, let's get your job done. Let's do your work. And you just sit there and they sit right by you all day.
We had a young lady who was pregnant. We had 2 graduates. One had twins and one had a newborn. And I told her before she went out in March, I'm like, don't let the baby stop you from finishing your senior year. I mean, she only had 2 months left. You still have some work to do, but don't let that stop you. You graduate without a high school degree. That's a $20,000 difference in salary. You'll always be entry level. So she called me to the carpet. It was time to come back in. She was off her bed rest, and she brought the baby in, and we sat there. There's a bunch of mothers up here, so we held the baby all day. It was just one of those. It was nice. So we had to do that a couple of times.
Yeah.
At Decatur High School, I don't know if y'all remember this. Bill, his last name was Funk. He was the principal, and he opened up a daycare. I thought that was so amazing. That was back in the 80s.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. He was ahead of his time.
I remember driving by and like seeing it was like a toddler playground on the back side of the school. And I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. He was amazing.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Same type of thing. Well, so cool. And I find it interesting, Lisa. I mean, obviously a lot of my good friends are athletes, and I tried, but anyway, it wasn't my calling. But
that was unfortunate.
I do find it interesting though. And you were a softball coach for many years, and it's do you think, well, and you were an athlete yourself, sorry, back to what I said. How do you think that has played out in your professional career? And teamwork, culture, motivation, whether as an athlete or as a coach, do you think it's been helpful or transferred over to your role as a principal?
Absolutely. And I think that playing for good teams and then coaching for state playoffs and all of that is it's not just a game. It teaches you how to hold the bar high for people. It teaches you how to vision cast. Like I told the teachers, I don't want to be just an alternative school. I want to be the best one in the state. So being able to just project that onto my teachers and holding, just like a coach holds a player accountable. And when they screw up, they can call them out. I'm not doing anything different than I'm not doing with my teachers, holding them to high expectations, pushing them when they don't want to be pushed,
right.
Be in that top 10%, that upper echelon, that whole efficacy piece. It's hard to get people to go to the edge because they want to resort back into their comfort zone. But probably y'all can relate to this doing this podcast. When you go to the edge and you step over that line into discomfort, that's where growth happens. That's where vulnerability is. And kids won't follow you when you're coaching. Teachers won't follow you if you're an administrator, if you're not willing to go there yourself. So, I pull them and I push them to discomfort, but, we're growing, and that's how you grow. You got to uproot to be planted into something different. It's very lonely at the top, but it's open to everybody.
Yeah. Speaking of, tell Allison and our listeners how you kind of rocked the community's world down there at the end of last year and had your honors program. And they were like, you want, and how meaningful it was. It's so cool.
Well, maybe they've done this kind of in the past. It just probably wasn't as to the extent as I wanted it to be. Some of our students, they would have like traditional honors and stuff at regular school, traditional schools. Well, here we did an honors program for the alternative students. We recognized their growth. We recognized their leadership abilities. We recognized their you know, they're just a plethora of different things. It just depended on what you wanted to acknowledge him from. But there was two students in particular, that's the first time he had ever been acknowledged publicly, and his parents could come, or grandparents sat there and watched their child get an award. And I think that's what I'm telling my team. Like, if you're walking up and down the hall and you're looking in the classrooms, would I want my child in that class? And then don't we all want to recognize? We want our children recognized, whether you're good school, bad school, whatever it is. You every parent or guardian wants their child recognized.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah,
and that probably changed their world forever. Quite frankly, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, there are a couple that are not going to go back to their base schools. They're just going to stay with us because that's just in the best interest of their future. So we're holding on to them here. We're going to get them involved, and I'm going to send them over to Southern Crescent, which is our GR, they call it GRCCA, where our students can get some industry certification. And when they graduate, they're actually they might already be signed. They might have a contract. Like if you go into nursing now, and WellStar is out there on site offering contracts to our students who are, you know, getting certified in nursing, welding, engineering, aviation. So there's a lot of opportunity out there for them.
That's incredible. Wow.
And, you know, not traditional. We don't have to get a 1280 on the SAT and get accepted to Georgia or Auburn. Go be an electrician and you'll do great, and you'll always have a job, and you'll make great money.
That's
and you're
right.
great. You know?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You certified forklift operator. I mean, you're making $20+ an hour. That's, you know, some of them are signing on with $50,000 contracts just in carpentry. I mean, it's amazing what's out there.
Lisa, when does your day end, and how do you turn it off to get sleep at night? I would think that you would have so many. Oh my gosh. How do you do it?
Well,
and she has 2 boys.
2 boys. How old are your boys now? I've seen pictures of
19.
Okay.
19 and 16.
Oh.
Remember those years, Alisa?
I'm still trying to get over them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you go home, you have to make the dinner. You have to do all of that, get them to do their homework, get them to their practices, or is your partner helping you with all that?
Oh yeah, it's just 100. It's not 50-50. So we all know what we all know where we have to pitch in to make it work.
Yeah.
So we know what the expectations are, so we don't set ourselves up for failure. I'm very, very appreciative that our kids can drive now, and we're not burning at both ends trying to get them to practice. So that's good.
That is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are their sports?
Soccer is the older one. That's Will, and he is going to LaGrange. He plays for LaGrange College, so he's starting back in a couple of weeks. Brooks is he is a junior. He'll be a junior, and he wrestles, and he's into his church and his youth group, and he's just all over the place. He's my little extrovert.
Nice.
Brooksy, he's Mr. Popularity.
He really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cutie.
And I just thought about this, that it's Brooks. We live in Brooks, and you're a Brooks. I didn't plan that.
I don't know. I told my dad that Brooks was named after us.
That's
even though
okay.
I knew he wasn't, but I think it sounded great.
I thought it was great.
Yeah, it's connection. Lisa, it's hard. I say Alicia. I know you have several, but if you kind of had one top goal for your new school year coming up, what you thinking?
Our goal for this school year?
Yeah.
Well, maintain our graduation rate, which we 95% of our students graduate this year. Awesome. It's not official, but unofficially. And then I would like to see our students I want to see them excel in the classroom, and we measure what good looks like with assessments and the EOCs and the Georgia milestones, but it can't be, there has to be a higher expectation for our students. I want to see them be successful over here, get them on track, ready to graduate, and go out and be productive citizens, not in just the community, but in a global community. I think that's what I want. I want to be the best non-traditional school in the state of Georgia. That's what I want.
That's right.
That's right.
Let's do it. I'm fired up.
Yeah, that's what I want.
That's right. Well, I think it'll happen, and I think it's great what you do, and I think it's cool that you know, some folks might be like, oh, I got to sign the alternative school, but you turn it around, and I think it's awesome.
It's a sweet gig. It's a sweet gig. People don't understand. You got like 10 kids in a classroom.
Yes,
the hours are great. And then at the academy, our kids are coming Monday through Thursday. Fridays are virtual. I mean, it's a sweet gig over here. I'm kind of happy with the situation. But we got a strong teaching staff this year. And I think they figured it out. They're like, okay, this isn't bad. I think I like the direction of this ship. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
right.
May I ask y'all how you met?
Oh.
Me? Oh,
Yes. Yes.
Well,
Through a mutual
that's what I used to tell my mom. Through a mutual friend. Well, it kind of was through a mutual friend. I think it may have been through Jackie.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah.
I thought you were stuck up. I thought you were mean.
And then there's that again. Yeah. Apparently I give a mean first impression. Allison, remember when you were 5 and you wondered if I liked you?
You were mean.
Okay.
The first time I met you, you made me feel like I was in your house and you didn't want me to be in your house. So I know what you're talking about, Lisa.
And it's this look right here, Allie. It's like,
yes, that is totally.
Yes.
I wish
that
that
up-down look.
Yeah, that's the look. She just, it's hard to see it when you're listening, but it is looking down on you. Yes.
Wow. Things. Wow. Things I'm working on in my later years.
Maybe it's the nose. I think the nose.
Hey,
Maybe she has to look up over the nose.
What would you say it is, Lisa? Not my
What's
nose.
that?
But what?
It's the eyes. It's those possum eyes.
Possum eyes. Is that what
Open 'em
you
up.
said? Oh my
Stop playing
gosh. Okay, we need a picture of that. Let me do a screenshot. B, let's get up closer. Here we go.
I can't see y'all. So, oh, wow, there I am.
Okay, so how did y'all meet?
Few a mutual friend. I would go and watch her play softball, and Lisa was on the team.
Okay.
And we just started hanging out, and we had fun, and it was awesome. And she grew up not too far from here.
Mm-hmm. And here is Decatur. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
There are people that are listening from England right now. So
okay.
yeah,
So Stone Mountain.
Good information. Stone Mountain.
Yeah.
Oh, I kind of had a guy friend who went to Stone Mountain, Wayne Offenhauer.
Was he your boyfriend?
He was my camp boyfriend, but we've
mentioned him before from Camp Premier.
Yeah, I don't know if we were boyfriend and girlfriend. I think everyone at camp thought we were, but I don't think we were. Nicest guy in the world. So you didn't go to Stone Mountain High School?
No.
Okay.
I was a Parkview grad. But I would sit on my rooftops. I would sit on not all the rooftops,
just one.
And my neighborhood, and we would watch the laser show every night because you could see it from our house.
That's incredible. I
want to
want
dance
to
with
do
somebody. I
that.
hated it.
Oh,
You know,
okay. I
You
went
know-
one time and it was, I was very hot. I just remember being very hot and uncomfortable.
oh, the laser
Yeah.
show.
Yes.
Oh God, we had to go all the time with the
Yeah.
grand nieces and nephews, and then
Oh,
Mom lived right there at the base of it, so it was
that's
popular.
right. Okay,
Yeah.
back to y'all. So y'all, you met through a mutual friend and the softball and
Arena.
and then y'all were friends.
Oh yeah, and then we kind of got reconnected at Georgia State.
There you go. Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
And then have just hung on ever since. She's who went to New York with me.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Absolutely.
What a trip.
Love that. Loved hearing about that.
Rooftops.
Do you want to add anything to the story of the rickshaws and rooftops?
How about the rickshaw riding around town, Alicia? We had that guy around our finger, wrapped around our
We
finger.
really did.
It sounds
We
like you
spent
did.
so much money. You did not say that though. Ridiculous. Do you know how much it costs? It's $10 a minute. $10 a
Wendy.
minute. That little man took us around the city. But
Wait,
you know
wait,
what? I
wait,
didn't
wait.
care.
Wendy is
$10 a minute.
minute.
I would
Yep.
be off in 5 minutes max.
Well, guess what? We didn't do it one time. We did it 5 times. Okay.
How much? How much was that? I'm not good at math, Lisa.
don't-
Come on, help me
don't
out.
worry
I
about it. Don't worry
cannot
about it.
reveal that information for fear of someone that I know listening to
Yeah.
this podcast.
Oh,
But I will say that it was worth every dime. We sang at the top of our lungs. We had I think people thought we were famous.
well, y'all are.
I mean, when Whitney Houston came on, Frank Sinatra and all that, the people were singing with us. I'm pretty sure that was our famous moment.
We
Wouldn't it be
lived
nice if y'all saw on Instagram a video of y'all in the rickshaw?
There were people recording. I'll just go ahead and
They're
say.
out there.
Yeah.
They're
we
out
lit
there.
We lit the city up.
Of course you did. Do you have an upper lip, Lisa? You know, she's kind of obsessed with it. Because we sit here and look at each other like this, and
It's horrific. I
Look at
think
those.
she's got more. Okay, so it's my eyes and my nose, and now why don't I just start over?
you know what I want from B? I want her to go back to a redhead. What's the blonde thing all about? Come on, you're a redhead. How do you feel about
Fire
that,
in the
Lisa?
hole.
I mean,
agree,
where
man.
is the redhead?
Oh,
She gets a
really?
little
Okay,
fiery when she gets like that.
I'm gonna
Take
shoot
a
y'all
picture. Take a picture.
Oh, I've got that picture
to
I sent you
your
last night.
hair dude, and just say, this is my color.
Okay. Well, he
Okay.
knows because he's been doing it for about
Okay.
40 years.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. What's your what's your color, Lisa? Is it yellow with a rim?
I'm a brunette.
She's wearing
I'm more of a brunette.
she's wearing a hat.
Yeah.
I'm aware.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
Yeah.
She's typically a blonde if you look at her Bitmoji. Check out this picture, ladies. I just sent you. I mean, that's red back in the day, right? How you doing? How you doing?
Okay, that's like a Ralph Macchio look.
That needs to be that when you call me, that's going to be popping up. Okay.
Yeah, boo. I'll
Right
tell you
now.
a story about that later. Lisa, we wish you a super, super successful school year. And we thank you so much for joining us today on Yogi and the Bee.
Thank you so much, Lisa. You are amazing. And sharing your
Yes.
time when you're so busy getting ready for school. You are a rock star. Keep it up.
Rock
Thank
it out
you
of the
so
park.
I
AZK,
appreciate it.
Bubbles, and bye-bye.
Namaste.
Well, I'll stay skinny 'cause we just want